Well, that was an interesting day, wasn't it? Holy shit. Shocking market reversal. Huge pump in the indexes, in crypto. It's a pretty big day. We're going to talk about what happened, the numbers, the charts, some crypto stuff, some Bitcoin stuff, answering your questions second half of the stream. I am looking forward to the day, personally, when we can just get back to charting Bitcoin, all of our random altcoins, man. Have to worry about the S&P 500 every gosh darn day, I tell you. Anyway, let's take a look at this. Kramer, what's going on here? It's a 90-day pause, Jerry. Big moves across the board for stocks yesterday. Look at this. Beautiful, beautiful 10% candle, one of the biggest candles ever in the history. Single daily candle for the S&P 500. NASDAQ, also a beast of a candle. Currently, futures showing S&P 500 down 1.5% today after a literal 10% pump yesterday, which you might be used to this. That never happens to the S&P 500. That's monstrous. Well, Donald Trump did tell us yesterday, dudes, you better buy. Literally, he tweeted this out in the morning. A few hours later, he pumped markets by gargantuan sums. He said, this is a great time to buy. Did it again. He did this in 2018, too, right before he pumped the markets. Can't say he didn't warn you. Holy shit. Anyway, the literal White House posting this, let him cook. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Now, the 90-day tariff pauses here for everybody except China. So all the other countries in the world will have a 10% reciprocal tariff until deals are made. And the market showed it's pretty happy with 10%. Okay, and they've tested that a little bit. We saw that story drop before Donald got out that damn piece of corkboard with all the crazy numbers on it. Okay, so very important. The globe's ready for 10%. 10%'s fine. And a lot of deals are going to negotiate anyway. Remember, in the last week, we've had everybody on the phone. Taiwan, South Korea, Japan, Canada today saying, let's negotiate, let's make a deal. Okay, India, Argentina, Israel, on and on and on and on and on. Okay, everybody wants to make a deal with the USA. All right. We even had hilariously today, apparently the Chinese reached out to the Australians saying like, hey, why don't we like team up and like fight against American tariffs? And the Australians like, yeah, nah, mate. Of course, they're a very close strategic ally for the United States. And even though they sell a lot to China, they're in bed with the Americans. They don't want to go and, sneak into China's bed there. And it's going to just, cause some problems. All right. Anyway, Billy Barhart, the CEO of Abbott Global, sharing this 90-day tariff pause on everyone except China, 10% reciprocal tariffs in the meantime. World mostly sees as fair. Those will create an us versus them scenario, everyone versus China, which to an extent that Australia story exemplifies, which is exactly what the Trump administration wants. Brilliantly done. Trump and company will assemble a grand meeting of NATO and key non-China trading partners and reorganize under a Mar-a-Lago Accord, Bretton Woods 2.0. Tier 1 partners will get free trade zones and co-defense agreements in exchange for settling X border in USD, among other gives. Tier 2 will have to pay up for access, aka they'll get the tariffs on them, right? Tier 3, well, it's China. China will basically get a take it or leave it ultimatum. Will try to pull in Russia, Iran, North Korea, Brazil, maybe India, who will try to play both sides. Eventually, a new Cold War will emerge based on the Chinese yuan versus the USD. Euro becomes largely irrelevant. I feel like the euro is already largely irrelevant. Sorry, Europe, but I mean, we're just being real here, okay? Now comes the tax cuts and the new spending bill. Pitch is Doge savings, tariff income, plus budget cuts to pay for more than 100% of tax cuts. Trump's approval rating is going to go up to 57, 60%, blow everyone's minds, and last week will be distant memory. Trump derangement syndrome sufferers are going to lose their minds as Trump approval ratings soar, Tesla sales skyrocket, and crypto prices go through the roof. Interesting assessments, Billy. Interesting assessments. I shared this on X yesterday. Bull market's back on. ... We still are not completely out of the woods yet. Things don't just go complete V-shape straight back to all-time highs. Okay, we got a lot of shit still to unwind from all the damage that was done, plus new headline risks and all that kind of stuff. So just FYI on that, okay? But tariff headline risk for the next 90 days anyway has largely mellowed out, except for China. And China, even then, China wants to make a deal. Of course, China wants to make a deal. China doesn't want to self-implode their own damn economy. They're going to want to make a deal. Now they are the second biggest economy in the world. So that means they can fight back a bit more. They don't want to lose face. They don't want to make deals that aren't favorable to them. They have enough cards to be able to fight back. Not all the cards, and I don't think that China will win a trade war with USA, but okay, sure. Did you just say approval ratings going up? Hey, that's Billy Barhart's opinion, okay? It's his opinion. Don't get too excited yet. Things can turn around. I understand. That's why I said we are not out of the woods yet, okay? We're still in the woods right now, okay? Still in the woods. But maybe we're on the road out of the woods. We'll see. A lot that can still go wrong, though, okay? Just FYI. But global M2 has been pumping for 2 months straight, okay? So with tariff headline risk reduced for 90 days, okay, and deals are going to be made. Just like, I mean, I agree with a lot of what Billy said there, okay, that deals will be made, that there will be tier one partners get free trade access to USA. Think South Korea, Japan, Canada, stuff like this, right? They'll be right there at the front. Boom. Other partners, maybe like Vietnam and stuff, have to pay some tariffs, but they're generally going to be okay. They're going to be like 10% tariffs, not like 50% tariffs. And then countries like China are going to have to really get their asses handed to them, probably. So anyway, with this positive tailwind right now in the market, then maybe we can catch up to global M2 correlation. So any day, anywhere between basically today and the start of first week of May approximately is when we're on schedule, quote unquote, to catch up to global M2 correlation. So that means that we might at least see prices go back and give us a triple top for Bitcoin. Let's go. Triple top before the end of times. That's kind of where global M2 is right now. It has technically broken out to a new high, so maybe we get like 112 or 120 or something like that based on current M2 correlations, but that might just be the next leg up before another consolidation period and another leg up after the summer. For example, local top in June, right? Rate cuts are coming. Next rate cut's probably going to come in June. Market largely pricing in June, not May. You can have your hopes up for May. Maybe we get a surprise, but basically the market's been saying June's when you get your rate cut. And let me just tell you this, okay? If we get a rate cut, a standard rate cut, not a panic. I saw so many people speak, oh, we got to have emergency rate cuts right now to save my stock portfolio. Jerome Powell doesn't give a shit about your stock portfolios, okay? He does care about unemployment. He does care about the bond markets, okay? But June, if we get a nice normal rate cut, that shows the Fed's still in control, okay? Still in control. Rennie, what's up, man? Bull trap, Lark, ever the bear, my friend. I appreciate you. This could have been the biggest bear trap ever. Perhaps this mini pump is a bull trap within a bear trap. Traps everywhere. I like that thought, that bull markets climb the wall of worry. And, well, basically, guess what? Bear markets walk down the stairs worry, and sometimes they jump off the cliff for worry. It's all worry all the time in markets. This is investing. You're always taking risks. The way it is. Anyway, let's see if we can get a pump from here until, let's say, mid-June or early June. A Bitcoin conference usually marks some kind of local topping moment, which kind of lines up with the sell in May and go away. So maybe between here and the end of May or the first 2 weeks of June or something like that would not surprise me. Okay. President Trump says China wants to make a deal. They're in the process of figuring it out. A deal's going to be made, guys. Deal's going to be made. Now, China's probably going to get the worst deal of anybody, but a deal will be made nevertheless, okay? Sistine Research, looks like it's time to start selling the RIP. Even this is in response to Bob Elliott, who says, looks like it's time to start selling the RIP even with relaxation of tariffs, the combination of Chinese yuan, across the board 10%, sectoral tariffs, blah, 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 be a big drag ahead. Saying people basically said the exact same thing when the markets had bottomed out after COVID crash. So that's interesting. Of course, the big story for the rest of your day is going to be inflation, baby. Inflation. Now, here's the good news. Trueflation and a lot of other forecasters are saying that inflation will have come down significantly this month. So last month was 2.8%, okay? The expectation is 2.5%. 2.5% is only 0.5% above the Fed's target of 2%. That's effing close. We were at 9% 2 years ago. Remember that. Don't forget about that. Was crazy shit, man. 2.5%, trending downwards. Gas prices down. Oil prices went off a cliff last week. Okay, this is good stuff. Very interesting. Trueflation says the BLS should start capturing the price dropper indicators and sharing for weeks. Tariffs already starting to bite. Apparel surged up 2.6% month on month. Food prices fell. Transportation costs edged lower as gas prices eased. Services remain resilient, rising 0.23% month on month due to tight labor market conditions. Goods inflation is softening, though, driven by discounting and pre-tariff promotions. Points of attention, the savings rate has increased from 3.3% to 4.6%. People are being more careful with their money right now. Okay, shows consumers are saving against this rise of uncertainty we're seeing in the markets. People are afraid there's going to be an unemployment crisis, so they're saving their money. Trueflation consumer confidence declined for the fourth consecutive month in March. The Fed faces a dilemma. Official inflation still above target, but real-time data shows disinflation, raising the risk of over-tightening into a slowdown. Okay, that sort of raises the potential for a cut in May. And a cut in May is fine, by the way. It's not saying the Fed's out of control, but the market's mostly just pricing in a cut in June, not in May. Okay, very interesting. Okay, so that's the big thing for today. If we come in at like 3%, game over, man. Game over. That Bill Paxton scene, man. Aliens. You know, Alien 1 was great. It really was. It was a fantastic movie. Just beautiful sci-fi space horror. I love it. But Aliens, man, just big guns. Yeah, it was a good time. Anyway, guys, if you're trading the cryptocurrency markets, I know you are, okay? Check out BitUnix. Okay, I'm doing a lot of my trading over here nowadays. It's a great place to trade your cryptocurrency coins. They got all the big stuff, deep liquidity for the coins, okay? Whether you're trading Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, Dogecoin, whatever, exotic altcoins. They got the fart coin over here, man. If you want to trade that, use that link down below. It's available to everybody everywhere. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world trading. You can sign up to BitUnix. Okay. So I know it's going to be really good for a lot of you guys who don't have a good place to long and short. This is the spot for you. You'll get a $10 sign-up bonus, 20% deposit bonus up to $400. You deposit $2,000, you get $400 back, which is crazy. $500 deposit bonus, trading bonus here as well for you. Okay. So go check it out. Link down below. Price of Bitcoin. What a surge yesterday, man, from 74.5 up to 83.5. What a day. What a candle. Beautiful. Nice. However, currently facing resistance to the 20-day EMA. Can we just retake the damn 20-day EMA already, man? Come on. Come on, Bitcoin. What are you doing, man? Come on. 20-day EMA currently acting as price resistance. You can see the daily candle did not close above the 20-day EMA. Oh my gosh, where did I go? I pushed something. Oh my gosh, hold on a second. Back to the Bitcoin chart. Holy cow. There we go. Okay, you can see we got right up to the 20-day EMA facing a little rejection here. After such a big move, I would not be surprised to see a little bit of consolidation. Could we whisper of a dream of a bear, not bear flag? I'm so used to bear shit. Bear shit. Bears do shit in the woods, and we're not out of those woods yet. Anyway. Could we whisper a dream of a bull flag? A bull flag, guys. Could it happen after this big, beautiful flagpole there? Could we just get a nice little bull flag and then just slowly grind up here to the 200-day EMA? Look, everything's still in a downtrend. I need you to understand this. Right now, everything's still in a downtrend. We have been getting rejected across the board at 20-day EMA retests. That's currently happening. Okay, I know it's been a beautiful move. It's very exciting. Okay, try not to FOMO too hard on a big green candle like that. Corrections will happen. Things will consolidate. You'll always have opportunities. But if we can get above $85,000, we are so effing back, guys. That's the key line, okay? We need to start putting the price in above $85,000. Why? Because that's the 200-day EMA. Nothing good happens under the 200-day. Okay, I think Stanley Druckenmiller said that, or maybe Paul Tudor Jones, one of those guys. Nothing good happens under the 200-day, okay? We're currently under the 200-day. That's bear zone. It's plain and simple, man. Bear zone, right? Get above 85K, then we're back. Then markets are really confirming the bullish impulse, and that markets are really willing to take risk again. Okay? Impulsive news yesterday. Everyone very excited. Can it hold? Can it become sticky? That's what we need to see right now. Raoul Pal posting this, our daily dose of hopium chart here for the global M2 correlation, which has, of course, been pumping for a while now. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Nice. $3 billion in shorts get liquidated if Bitcoin hits $93,000. It'd be unfortunate if Bitcoin broke out and hit 93K and liquidated all those shorts. Dirty, dirty bear shorters. I tell you, I love shorting stuff, just not Bitcoin. It feels dirty. You know what? I will short XRP all day long, man, when the time is right. Obviously, not just because I'm being silly, but when there's an obvious setup to short XRP. Why? Because the higher beta play to Bitcoin. Okay, if Bitcoin's going to go down 2%, XRP is probably going to go down 3 or 4%. That's really the reason to do it, not just an irrational, disdain for bread garlic house coin here. Okay, making jokes, of course, obviously, guys, but no, but really, if I'm going to short something, I prefer a short altcoin because you generally have higher downside beta compared to Bitcoin. Anyway, tech dev sharing this. Cycles over news, data over emotion, history over this time is different. We are right now at the bottom of the global business cycle. Okay? That's very interesting, isn't it? Right now, at the bottom of the global business cycle, which means that we have the entire business cycle ahead of us. So what's that mean? That means that things could go a lot crazier than you think. Okay? If we are at the bottom of the business cycle right now, and the business cycle's ahead of us, that means truly, as I don't want to jinx it, guys, but I'm going to say it anyway, okay? So give it all a grain of salt. The bull run hasn't even started yet. This is all just the pregame. Think about it. Think about it. We had that 6 weeks of bullish price action from the inauguration to basically mid-December, and then we had one final rally around the meme coin and Trump meme coin in early January. And that was a local topping moment, right? But there's no real momentum behind it. Retail didn't show up in any significant way and all that kind of stuff. But what if global M2 keeps pumping well to 2026, which the guys over at Real Vision think is a possibility? The global business cycle heats up. Just saying, guys, that'd be pretty crazy if that happens. That's what President Trump's executive director of digital assets. By the way, we now have an executive director of digital assets. They're saying they're going to usher in the golden age for crypto. This too, not only do we are at the bottom of the business cycle, we have global M2 increasing, rate cuts coming, tariff fears subsiding, but we also have the most pro-crypto administration ever, okay? Just going to put that out there, guys. By the way, guys, if you're not in the Discord yet, link down below. You can check it out. We're sharing all kinds of great setups and stuff all the time. We've been talking about setting up some nice Melania shorts. I mean, it just, at some point I thought it just keeps going down. I feel they're going to have to delist this thing in a few months, aren't they? But until then, it just keeps going down. Giant unlocks just keep coming. It's a brutally shattered coin. But we're sharing chart setups over here in the Discord, okay? We're having conversations on altcoins and all that kind of stuff, sharing information, sharing ideas, talking to the community. You can find a link down below if you guys want to check that out and learn some more about it. So, bread garlic house coin, beautiful pump yesterday, of course, came right back down here to retest this area of previous resistance, turning into price support here, retaking the 200-day EMA, literally one of the strongest coins in the market, okay? One of the few above the 200-day EMA. Now, came back up just shy of the 20-day EMA here. Take that off because that's no longer relevant. Just shy of the 20-day EMA here. Struggling now to maintain that move right here. Nick, shorting Melania is misogynistic. If it makes you feel better, short Trump. Those meme coins, man. Those meme coins, crazy shit. Anyway, this is interesting. Let's see if we can keep up the 200-day EMA right here. My guess, we dipped back down below it a little bit, but I think a solid retest of that around 195 might be an interesting position for a long, especially if CPI comes in good today. Leo, we talked about CPI, 2.5%. That's the prediction right now. It's 2.8% last month, 2.5% this month, which means a significant cooling. If it comes in even lower than that, and that's the general expectation is 2.5%. If it comes in lower than 2.5%, I mean, hold on to your butts because that's going to be very bullish for markets, okay? Let's talk about Litecoin. Litecoin currently $73. I am tempted to, let's say, I'm tempted to keep an eye on this because as we're now in April, and if we have a move towards really getting some tailwinds in the market and actually starting to reverse some of this stuff, and look, we're not there yet, okay? Everything's still in a downtrend. I need to hit that message home. Everything's still in a downtrend until proven otherwise, and we love to see big fat pumps like happened yesterday, but until we see some confirmation reversal, we're still in downtrends, okay? Litecoin being one of those coins. But I'm watching Litecoin here because the potential for an ETF approval is only a few weeks out. If that happens, there's probably a nice long situation there. You know, I'm uncertain if I just want to go with just spot on this. I might just do spot on this, man. Might do futures too. I don't know. I'll let you guys know when I pull the trigger on it. But I'm definitely still watching Litecoin for that ETF trade. I got out of it back here in the mid 90s. All the way down here now. Gosh darn, went down to 63 bucks the other day. Still in the downtrend. Let's see. Retake of the 20-day EMA is probably the first major encouraging signal here for Litecoin that lines up with key areas of price support here along the chart as well. Flipping that from resistance into support once again, perhaps. Coin signals, Solana heading for the fifth attempt to break this huge trend line. Solana ETFs, Solana included in U.S. Reserve, digital reserve assets, not the strategic reserve. Fire dance or upgrade. Companies buying for strategic reserve. Some company announced they're buying Solana for strategic reserve the other day. Stablecoin supply up 146%. ZK implementation for privacy and more. Yes, Solana is still a great coin. I don't hold any currently, but I'd be tempted to rebuy some, especially on a show of strength, taking out the 20-day EMA. Again, like most coins, we came back up here, hit the 20-day EMA basically on the bottom, rejected from it. Key area of price support here around 125 as well. Let's see. I feel like, again, for the ETF narrative specifically, Litecoin's a much more attractive. I mean, what's the market cap of Litecoin now? Like $6 billion or something like that, versus what, 80 billion or something for Solana. Adam, what's up, man? Nice to see you. Fire dancer for money. I know what you're thinking, guys. It's time to start an OnlyFans. Yeah, goes through my mind sometimes. It's like, I got nice looking feet. Put those on there. Anyway, side hustles for the bear market. Okay, guys. Jupiter Exchange flips Tron layer on blockchain 24-hour revenue. Look at this, $2.25 million in 24-hour revenue. That's very interesting. Now, that's total revenue. I'm not sure how much of that is specifically going to be used for buybacks, but they're using 50% of revenue for buybacks. I'm not sure all that number accounts for that. But if it does, shit, they're going to buy $1 million and do a buyback based on the current. That's a lot of coins, man, based on the current market cap. Very interesting. Of course, the Jupiter chart looks like absolute ass, much like a lot of other altcoins in the space right now. Nothing much to report there, but hey, that's some good news anyway. And obviously, the new paradigm of money, Fartcoin, had an absolute ripper yesterday, up 50%. And I just get to watch it from the sidelines now, seething as it goes higher, letting my ego get in the way and not letting me rebuy it. Maybe if it comes back down to 50 cents here at these key EMAs, I will rebuy it. Then it's actually got a bullish crossover the 20 and 50-day EMAs. So very strong coin so far in the chart. In theory, at some point, it retests this trend line right here, which kind of coincides with these EMAs right here. So that's probably the next best place to get it, which means if I can get it there, it means I rebuy a little bit higher than I sold it at. So I sold it at 41, 42, 43. I can't remember, something like that. Lower 40 cent range. That was like 25, 26, 27% profit, something like that. I was like, okay, shit. You know, market's turning over. I mean, this was like on the days like max fear. I was like, okay, shit. I'll take the profits now. It's probably going to go down back to like 30 cents or something like that. I'll re-add in there. Oh, no. Fartcoin is the new paradigm of money. It completely held up like a champ. Like a champ, man. Unbelievable strength. The chosen meme coin of the cycle, apparently. But I would like a better entry. I'm willing to miss it if that's the case. But that'd be annoying because I think Fartcoin's pretty funny. Anyway, regardless, we're up to 25 minutes. Let's talk crypto coins, guys. What do you guys want to talk about? Remember to hydrate. What do we got today, guys? We got the beautiful Swiss water here from the guys at lak3.io from Sembranche in Switzerland. Hi, Brazil. What's up? Fartcoin strategic reserve. Yeah, let's go. Fartcoin is a deep state joke on us. Well, if you make money on it, who cares? Let the shilling commence. Amen to that. Do you think it's another bull trap? Should we consider selling some here? It's like I was saying yesterday. If you are struggling recently and you're having a really hard time with the markets and you're freaking out and can't sleep and stuff like that, there's nothing wrong with reducing a bit on a big pump like this. Okay? Nothing wrong. People will tell you it's wrong. People will tell you I'm an idiot for even daring to mention that you're ever allowed to sell anything. But honestly, for some of you guys, maybe you can take that as we're still in a downtrend. Okay? That's very true. And I think that we have some really good tailwind potential for the rest of April into May and into June. I think prices can go a lot higher in that situation. And you have to accept that if you are going to sell because you just want to reduce stress, maybe reduce, just take some profits out of your, if you're in profits, of course, take some profit out of your portfolio. You're allowed to do that. It's going to help you sleep at night. Okay. Say hi to the Sentient Dolphin Committee of New Zealand. Let's go. Let's go. Dolphins for the win. Actually, I read this. I've got this great book, some great New Zealand books, actually. Got quite a few of them on New Zealand sea creatures and beaches and forests and stuff like that. But yeah, my son loves reading about the dolphins, about the Maui dolphin and the dusky dolphins and the Hector's dolphin, all the cool stuff. So New Zealand dolphins. It's good stuff. You look tired from winning so much, Lark. Stay hydrated. Amen to that. Anyone else spend 23 hours and 20 minutes panicking and they give 40 minutes of hope with Lark? Yeah. Hey, Lark, I quit drinking and now I just eat chocolate. Also, Jesus, I'm down like Down syndrome. Well, yeah, I don't drink very much. Mostly just this and coffee. But I do have some wine once in a while. I always find it just messes my, I guess I'm just getting old, man. I'm not even 40 yet, but I just feel like every time I have a few glasses of wine, it just screws my sleep up and I just wake up all dehydrated and shit. And I'm always chasing the dragon with booze. This is the thing. I'm always chasing this sort of mythical perfect buzz, or I'm going to get just the right amount of alcohol and feel good for the longest amount of time, but never seems to quite work out like that. The only time I really enjoy drinking is when I start like drinking and go on a binge, which I haven't done in a while. Like, not like crazy alcoholic shit, but just like where you drink like a few glasses of wine a day and then you're like, oh, okay, wine. But then you're just kind of tired all the time. It just kind of becomes like a habit. And anyway, it's a different story. You need a beard. Nah, man, I'm good. I'm good on the beard. I like having a nice clean shave. Buttcoin is strong. Nice. Everyone knows he fills his balls up with vodka. Na zdrowie. That'd be a lot of vodka if it was. Holy shit. Lark, what's your thought on Sierra Kronos? Jordan, for me, I love Crypto.com. I use the Crypto.com card all the time. So big fan of the Crypto.com card. The CRO asset, never really taken it on board as an investment asset personally. Don't know. These exchange coins can do well, but I prefer to put my money elsewhere personally. Should we hold our powder or start spreading it out? Totally depends on what you're trying to achieve with your portfolio, right? Maybe you're just holding that powder thinking that, shit, we're going to go way lower. And again, we are still in a downtrend until proven otherwise. You could actually wait until we start retaking the 200-day EMAs and say, okay, well, now maybe we're back. Now maybe a new uptrend starting, and it's a lot safer to enter then on an actual show of strength in the market. And now a lot of people want to get the absolute bottom prices and get the perfect entry. And you don't usually, most don't. Some traders might nail that perfect move, but the vast majority of people will miss the bottom, which is why bottoms are so short-lived. It's just a moment in time. All those gains gone like tears in rain. Anyway, you can always start spreading out some of your money. Maybe if you're feeling that FOMO, that urge, like, man, I got to get some money back in the market, like start dollar cost average it in, man. What's wrong with that, right? You can always just put a few bucks in. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to go all in. You can start putting a little bit of money in. And then when Next week, put a little more money in. Next week, a little more money. And then when you actually see that reclaim of the 200-day EMA, you say, okay, well, now I need to actually allocate the rest of my money, but I've got better prices by slowly averaging in, because that's the thing is you might start buying in today, but then we go down for the next 2 or 3 weeks. So if you go all in, you're going to be all stressed out because you got a bad entry. But if you start putting a little bit in, you're probably gonna be a lot less stressed out because you can just keep buying more. And then eventually we recross the 200-day and you're like, okay, great, I'll put the rest of things. Now it looks like market's actually showing some strength. That's just an idea for you. But yeah. You can also put your stable coins to work if you want to just wait to do the reclaim of the 200-day EMA. You can farm on like Aerodrome Finance or something like that. Did you hear about Japan's plan to cut crypto taxes? I did. Big crypto market in Japan, something we don't know very much about in the English language speaking world, but very popular. Clark, you buying another Lambo if altcoin sees? I don't have any Lambo. I got a Tesla. It's a very practical family car. I've got the Model X. It's got the wing doors on the back, great for getting kids in and out of the car. If I do buy a ridiculous dumb sports car one day, and it's not a top priority purchase, okay, I wouldn't be happening anytime soon. I'd probably buy another watch before that. But if I was to buy a silly sports car, I think I'd buy a Ferrari. Actually, quite like Ferraris. Those things, I see them. It's funny. Back in Wellington, New Zealand, you never see sports cars, luxury cars, like almost never. Not a very rich city, even though it's the capital of the country. Whereas here in Dubai, it's just like you walk out the door and you basically trip over a Ferrari or Lamborghini every 5 feet. Lark, I think you've been sucking up too much Trump bullshit. It's making you sound like a real chump. Thanks for your opinion, Jeremy. It's always appreciated. Look, man, as I've said many times before, and you guys can, trash on me all you want. It's fine. It's part of being a person making content on the internet. But my take with Trump has and will continue to be that look beyond the character, look at what's actually being done. Okay. And you might look at the last few days and go, well, this is all a total irrational craziness, the trade war. And yeah, the trade war shit's been crazy. But I'm a crypto investor. And for the cryptocurrency markets, but the uncertainty brought prices down. Well, if you have that kind of mentality, the prices only need to go up, then you're only ever buying tops. What? You don't want to buy things when they're cheaper. You don't want to buy things when they're on sale. Dude gave you an epic opportunity to buy some more coins. So that's one. Two, this is the most pro-crypto regime ever in the history of the world anywhere. And I'll take that win. I will take that win 100%. Okay? No politician, no person is perfect. Okay, and there's plenty of things that Trump does that I would have heavy criticism of, but that goes beyond the scope of what we talk about on this channel. Some of his stances on a whole variety of issues I don't necessarily agree with, but we talk about economics here. We talk about money. We talk about markets. Okay, we're not here to debate the pros and cons of dropping bombs on Yemen or some bullshit like that. That's not what we do on this channel. Okay, that's for something else. Okay, we're here solely to talk about the impacts of economic policies by politicians, whether it be Trump or anybody else, on markets. Okay, that's it. Lark, drink earlier in the day. Day drinking, man. Those are the days. Just start like 9 a.m. Get some Bloody Marys rocking and rolling. By lunch, you're into the wine already. Yeah, it's a good time. Red Bull and tequila. Oh my God. Better catch up in the chat. We got a few minutes behind. Bitcoin pumped 10% yesterday. NASDAQ 11. Robinhood 25. Sol 9%. What are we? Yeah, I know. I feel you. Oh my God. By the way, fuck. I saw that Trump tweet yesterday, and I've been trying to get money deposited in my brokerage account. Of course, banks take fucking forever, don't they? And I was like, okay, deposit some money in my brokerage account. It's time to buy some stocks. All right, I'm gonna buy some stocks. This is the day. Deposit doesn't arrive yesterday, does it? No. Of course it doesn't. Anyway, yeah, but you make a very, very good point. Is like sometimes, and I've honestly been thinking about this a lot recently, is like shit, the equity markets have been so good. There's been, I mean, when you actually buy real companies and hold real assets too, by the way, instead of, most of this Fugazi bullshit in crypto. There's a reason why meme coins are so popular, because meme coins just took the mask off and we're more honest about the reality of most of this stuff's just bullshit anyway. But yeah, Robinhood, well, I'm glad I bought a bunch of Robinhood a few weeks ago, but shit, I wish I could have bought more Robinhood yesterday. Anyway, say la vie. I like Robinhood. That's probably what I'll buy more of. But it's crazy, isn't it? Stocks, Tesla's up 22% or something like that as well. Look, there are times when crypto has incredibly massive outperformance, and there's huge opportunities in crypto for the everyday person to be able to come in, buy new meme coins or whatever it might be on the cheap, and make huge money. And that opportunity doesn't really exist in the stock market in the same way. I like stocks. I'm going to keep putting more money from crypto into stocks over time, building up a long-term investment portfolio for me and my family. But yeah, wild performance yesterday. Stocks definitely had a great moment. Huge outperformance of some of the top coins in crypto by the top stocks in the stock market. Pretty cool stuff. Global markets had a pretty clear opinion of tariffs. Yesterday was the inevitable response to that. Agree, Nick. Absolutely. Drinking at English teacher parties. Yeah. Those are good times. Love your content, mate. Thanks, Craig. Appreciate it, man. All in on Fartcoin. Don't even get. It serves me right for taking my 25% profits on Fartcoin. I'm just gonna have to watch it go. Like sit here, just watch it go to like $10 and just see the entire way. Anyway, smoke a few J's, man. No need for alcohol. Yeah, I haven't done that in a long time either. I had that was not a full cannabis thing, but like a CBD cigarette in Spain last year was interesting. But in terms of actually smoking a fat one, it's been years, man. That's a long time. But I don't like doing that either, to be honest. Just like raw dog in life, man. Sober with, I guess, a bit of coffee once in a while. Yeah, feels nice. Don't know. It's funny. It's one of those things. I feel like other people always have more fun when they smoke a joint or get all fucked up drinking booze. And I always feel like, I don't know, I just get tired or, feel crap the next morning, don't sleep, whatever. Or smoking weed is just like, I don't know. It can be nice sometimes, but just I have zero interest in pursuing those activities. Who can drink until 3 and be at work by 8 at 20? Yeah, I had a lot of those days in my university days. Just the amount of insanity. Coffee and tobacco is all I need these days. Yes. Well, we'll have to have a shisha. When you come to Dubai. I don't like not having control of my mind. Amen to that, Sue. Not having a vice is menacing. I picture you being 100% paranoid. Well, if sentient dolphins coming after me, who's not paranoid of that, dude? Come on. I don't know if I can go back to New Zealand now. Hello from Boise, Idaho. What up? Used to work with a girl from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Worked on a cruise ship when I was like 18. I always thought it was a pretty cool name. Drinking in Dubai is bold. You're allowed to drink in Dubai, right, Jim? You're allowed to buy alcohol. You're allowed to drink. There's beach clubs up and down the beach here where you can go have a beer if you want, have a whatever, rum or whatever your heart's desire may be, alcohol-wise. It's just there are rules and regulations. It's not the place where you can just, go to the park and sit there and drink a bottle of rum and get all effed up and abuse people. And that kind of behavior is not really accepted here. And I kind of like that, being somebody who doesn't really drink all that much. It's kind of nice to just be able to go to the park at 8 o'clock in the evening on a Friday night. And there's not a bunch of drunk people breaking bottles and shit. And, it's kind of a cool thing. Where are we up to? We'll couple more questions here, guys. Lark, what do you do for exercise? I mean, different stuff. I've actually started going to the gym recently. I just found for a long time, I've not been pushing myself hard enough at home, and it's been tough moving countries and all that stuff. So definitely got behind on the workout routine. But I found not pushing myself hard enough home, so I started going to this F45 gym. Anyway, this has been pretty good. Enjoyed it. So do that 3 times a week. Cardio on Tuesday. It's just like the exercise bike, maybe a bit of weights and some stomach crunches and stuff. And then we've got boxing on Thursday. So it's a good cardio workout. Plus, it's something more interesting and fun. Plus going for walks and swimming and trying to be active and all that kind of stuff. Where do you see Kusama? Man, I've literally not thought about Kusama in an incredibly long amount of time. Yeah. I haven't thought about Polkadot really since I sold it. Sure as fuck, I haven't thought about Kusama. I mean, I don't think anyone's thinking about Kusama anymore. I'm sure there's builders over there still, but just like, look what people are talking about. Look where the attention's gone. And it's not going to Kusama. I can't imagine living in a Muslim country. I love it. I think it's great. Dubai is very international, very cosmopolitan, in case you haven't been here. But I love the local culture, personally. I think it's cool. Six months now, no drinking or smoking. Best decision ever made. Makes feel good. Do you have any crypto friends in the Cayman Islands, Lark? I do not. I do not. Oh, yeah. I sold my coins about a month ago on a loss. Is it a good time to buy? I missed the dip. Look, it depends, man. I don't know what your situation was. Did you sell stuff at profits? Did you sell? I guess you sold stuff at a loss, right? So are the coins that you sold, do you want to rebuy those same coins? And are they now at a lower price than they were when you sold them? If so, maybe you win, right? Let's say coin A was $1 when you sold it and it's 80 cents now. Well, you just won. You made yourself some money. You don't have to buy back with all the money. You can buy back just the initial coins that you had. Now, the problem becomes if coin A is now $1.20 and you have to rebuy higher, which can happen. And people tend to overthink this like, oh, but it's up a little bit higher than when I sold it, whatever. And it's okay to get out of the way of a steaming freight train, which is essentially the whole tariffs narrative, and then re-enter back in. But you have to accept then that, well, you might have to rebuy slightly higher in that situation. So is it a good time to buy? Like I said earlier, right now, the markets, it's been very exciting. It's been a great pump. We all love to see that. Everything's still in a downtrend. Most coins have not even reclaimed their 20-day EMAs. Most coins are actually getting rejected their 20-day EMAs, which is short term. Not fantastic. And most coins are not above their 200-day EMAs, which is really showing that the markets are regaining adequate amounts of strength to say, okay, our next bullish impulse is here. Until that happens, we remain stuck in downtrends. Okay, so if you buy now, then guess what? With the downtrend still being in effect, you could see lower prices, especially for a lot of altcoins, just bleeding out much more relative to Bitcoin. So I don't know what you had. I don't know what you want to buy. And here's an interesting thing for you as well. Would you actually buy the same coins today? Now, here's the thing. I like the idea that when you're looking at a coin, if you imagine rebuying the coin every single day, would you actually buy that coin today? It's a very interesting thought experiment to go through, because when prices are down, like I've seen a Bitcoin down, like would I buy it today? Yes, absolutely, every time. Ethereum down, would I buy it today? No. No, because Ethereum has sucked big fat balls for a variety of reasons, and I feel like it's losing mind share and is falling behind in a variety of aspects. Would I rebuy Solana today? Yes, of course. Or would I, okay, let's say a coin that I hold, Avalanche, right? Would I rebuy my Avalanche today at 15, 16, 17 bucks or whatever? Yeah, I would. So in that theory, I will keep holding it, even though it's like, I don't know, 10% underwater or something right now. I've had the Avalanche bag for a long time. Anyway, one or two more here, guys. Clark giving out workout advice on everything our lives. I'm not in perfect shape, man. I'm not here to give out workout advice, just people asking about it. You know, the market is in bull mode and even ETH goes up. Yeah, ETH, man. Do CrossFit. What I'm doing is kind of like that anyway. I wouldn't buy Jupiter today. I'm ready to sell it. Andy, interesting. Is that just because of the current price action or because you think that it's not going to come back in the future and that's not still one of the major protocols on the Solana network? I feel like, you know, and I got pretty pessimistic on Jupiter around, well, everything that happened with the Libra launch and the connections of the Meteora team, which is run by Jupiter, and some bullshit going on there, right? But it's still one of the most used protocols on the Solana network. Still has good tokenomics. Okay. 250K top will be quite a stretch. It always is until it isn't. 100K was quite a stretch. 60K was quite a stretch. 20K was quite a stretch. Lark Rose. I'm out of my Rose, not completely, but basically I've got a little bit left to claim and sell from an investment round in it, but I'm out of my Rose. I feel like it just didn't hit that. There was a great moment, I think, for like Near, which I sold, by the way, and Rose, which I sold, and I've taken that money and putting it back into the stuff that I like more, like Aptos. And I bought, oh, by the way, 45 minutes. We're going to, you know, gosh darn it, we're making these streams shorter. I forgot to mention, I bought some Plume yesterday for a real world asset play and some Gun coin, which is the off the grid game token. Anyway, Rose, Near, I feel like both those had this incredible moment to really just capitalize on that AI hype in November, December. Just didn't really happen, unfortunately. And that's kind of why I got into both those positions and didn't really work out, unfortunately. So sold those, put the money into other stuff. Where did you buy guns? On Binance? Gun, GUN, is the ticker for the coin for the off the grid game. Anyway, we're done. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you all. We'll see you back tomorrow. May the odds forever be in your favor. Peace.